All right, I'm here with Andrew Couperthwait from Head, and we are going to go over a few of the exciting new updates with the line, which is going to actually cover a decent range. But why don't you start with the skis that we have right behind us and tell us kind of first, let's just talk about the backstory of these skis, how they came to be.
So this is the Oblivion line, and in particular, the two newest models for 23-24 in Oblivion. Oblivion's been around for a couple of years for us. It is our twin line. If you've ever seen footage of Jesper Chater on our 84 or 94 Oblivion, Aaron Blunk here in Crested Butte, big top pipe athlete for us, skis on both the 84 and the 94 as well. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to expand that lineup to include some wider skis. In particular, one of our latest athletes, Cole Richardson, brings a really unique style to skiing, and visually he creates a different look on skis. And he came to us and said that the skis that he had been skiing on for us, Core, were working really well, but there were some things that he would like to see in our ski line that would allow him to really shine his personality through and his style through. So we collaborated on these two skis in particular with Cole quite a bit, and a few of our other athletes and guys like Aaron and Jesper included, to really bring to our line some skis that we were missing, that were bi-directional, but were over 100 millimeters underfoot, and were a little bit more playful than the Core skis, a little bit surfier than the Core skis, and certainly with that twin tip construction as well.
Gotcha. So next to us, we have the 102 and the 116. How similar versus different are they to the narrower Oblivion skis that were already in existence?
So they're actually a construction that's unique to these two models. So the current Oblivions that you'll know of prior to these models are wood core fiberglass sandwich construction. And we do a lot of reinforcements to those skis. The bases are thicker, the edges are thicker for park and pipe skiing, as well as all mountain skiing. These are new constructions for us. So this is a wood core carbon construction that we're using throughout the ski. The core structure is a poplar wood core, but it's unique for us because it's the first time we've used a plastic stringer through the wood core. So we're using PET recycled plastic, so the plastic that comes from recycled bottles. We run stringers longitudinally through the core. That way, that allows us to lighten the core, bring a more sustainable aspect to the core itself, and add more pop, which is something that Cole really looks for in his skis. If you watch him ski, especially in deep snow, he really likes to get up out of the snow, get that ski to react and pop him up out.
Yeah, it seems like he spends just about half his time deep
in
the snow and half in the air.
Yeah, for sure.
So anything you want to talk about, especially in terms of shape, like looking at these skis, in some regards, it feels like a bit of a throwback to like when they first basically made park skis wider, but it's a very different construction.
Yeah.
So how did you arrive with the shape and rocker profile that you did?
So each ski has its own unique shape and rocker profile. You know, the 102 is a little bit more of an accessible ski for us. We really wanted to build that ski with a lot of life, a lot of fun personality, poppy personality, but something that a lot of different skier types could access. You don't have to be Cole Richardson to ski on a 102. And so that really came through in the rocker profile and the shape. You know, one of the things we do is with the twin tip, we still bring the width of the side cut up into the ski. So even with the rocker profile, when the ski's laid over, you can actually engage a pretty long effective edge on the ski. That adds a lot of versatility to it. And that was really the goal with the 102. We wanted to bring the price point down and be more in the youth market with the 102 and give that market a price point that they could work with, but also give them a ski that an intermediate could go out and have as much fun as an expert skier. And so those rocker profiles, certainly both in the tip and tail, deeper than what you'll find in the core ski that's more directional. Certainly the turned up tail adds a different feel to that ski, in particular when you're finishing the turn, but also because of the constructions of the skis, the mounting points are much further forward than what you find on the core skis, more of a progressive mounting style. We mark ski center and then we move 5 centimeters back from that into what we mark as all mountain. But depending on the skier type, all mountain could be 1 centimeter behind ski center.
Yeah, I noticed like the multiple lines right away. So it seems like Like obviously twin tip skis, you have freestyle performance in mind, but are these skis made only for freestyle oriented folks, or are you thinking that certain directional skiers are also going to be getting along well with them?
Absolutely. I think it's an all mountain ski. It's a ski that can diversify itself from the majority of our line. And especially when I talk about the majority of our line in all mountain, that really hinges on core for us in North America. So it's a ski. I like to ski it, and I am by no means a bi-directional skier. You know, I'm at the older age of my skiing career, so I like to keep the tips pointed downhill. But I love skiing on the ski, and a lot of our guys in the company love skiing on the ski. But really, what really came through is when we've taken it to demos, and we've had some of the younger guys and gals get out on it, and the reactions that we're getting from them are really, really positive, and just, you know, I'd say the word that comes back the most is fun. This was super fun. When you get into the 116, certainly the rocker profiles change. The ski is a bigger ski overall, so the rocker goes deeper into to the mid portion of the ski more than say the 102 does. But in particular, one of the things that you're going to notice from the 102 to the 116 is that flex pattern under the foot of the skier is stiffer in its nature than the 102. And that's something that Cole really brought to light for us. He skis really fast, so he can't just ski on a wet noodle. He's got to have something with some integrity to it. So he wanted that surfy playfulness in the tip and tail, but really wanted something pretty robust and solid under his foot. And that's what we were able to do with the wood core for the 116.
Gotcha. So Cole has spent a lot of time, like you said, skiing the core skis, core 117, core 111. How are you kind of thinking about who is going to be best off on the Oblivion 116 versus a core 117?
You know, I would say it's going to be in the style of the skier. You know, are you more traditional in your, let's say, in your mounting points is a good way to talk about it. Where do you like to ski a ski? Do you ski more 8-9 centimeters back from center? Or are you closer to that center mark? Then this is going to be a ski that's going to fit your progressive nature of skiing. If you're a skier that likes to ski in the park in the pipe, but also take that on to the mountain, certainly that's where this is going to really, Oblivion, the category allows you to work within that. You know, you could certainly use, like, say, the Oblivion 94 as an all mountain park and pipe ski, and then progress into a 102 for more of your powder type ski.
Got it.
But it's also going to be price point driven. You know, as we see everything go up and prices climb and pretty much not only just the ski industry, but everything around you that you're purchasing, we wanted to bring something that was new, that could hit a different price point. And with the materials that we use in these skis versus what we use in core, we can lower that price point and give somebody that's looking for a more affordable option, a ski that really has a high performance level, but is also progressive in its nature and its skiing style.
Gotcha. So just visually, I mean, shape alone, these skis look quite different from especially the core series, but also the graphics are quite different. Can you give us the backstory on that?
Yeah, so certainly this came to light with working with Cole. And he really wanted to bring his own graphical impression to the project. So our graphic designers over in Austria worked with him on quite a few iterations of how the skis could look. And if you watch Cole ski, you can see that he has a very unique relationship with how he sees the mountain, how he finds his line, and how he plays with features on the mountain. So the idea with the skis is you can see the 3D aspect of the mountain, giving you an impression of the mountain, but allowing you to kind of take that impression any way that you want. And then certainly in the 116, as you get closer to the ski, you'll notice there's a 3D image of a head. And that's an anatomical rendering of 3D animation of a head. And that really is speaking to the mind of the skier. And so what Cole wanted to communicate to skiers with his personal pro model is how your mind can interpret the mountain and how that can create your skiing personality.
Gotcha. Well, they look sweet, and they make me think of like you turns the mountain into like a video game, like an arcade game or something. Exactly. Yeah, I really dig it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we just talked about the new Oblivion collection, new Oblivion skis, But let's talk now about the core series of both skis and boots.
Exactly. So Core is a brand of skis, or a category of skis that we launched in 17, 18. And we brought a lot of new materials to light in our construction, our development of the project. And in particular, we were really trying, our goal was to see, what new materials we could work with that could reduce weight, still maintaining an all-mountain ski. These are not touring-specific skis, but bring that weight closer to a touring ski while not bringing into play all of those stereotypes that a lot of people come to think of when they think of a lighter weight ski. Maybe the ski feels a little nervous. Maybe it doesn't hold as good of an edge. There isn't that smooth, damp feeling to the ski. So we wanted to buck all those stereotypes and really bring to light a ski that could be lighter, that could make the skier more efficient, but without sacrificing performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny. It feels like Core's been around forever now. Like it's got quite the history already. But this year, these cores look a little different.
They do. So one of the things when we first launched the line of skis, they were very dark, and that was purposeful. We wanted the skis to be mysterious. We wanted people to want to understand what that was. Then we went through, and as every ski company does, you deal with different iterations of graphics and themes within your graphics and things like that. So for 23-24, we wanted to bring back kind of that clean, stylistic approach to the ski, really clean in its logoing and its core branding on the tail and the details and the tech blocks, but add a lot of earthy tones to it. So earthy tones, whether we're talking about fashion right now or ski equipment, earthy tones are very popular. We know they'll continue to be popular next year as well. So that's kind of where the upgrade to the colors. In the past, we used really fluorescent colors within the skis. We still have those in details of the skis, but the overall tones of the colors are much earthier in nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they look really good, especially being able to see all the line at once. And like the head logo at the front, you get a glimpse into the construction of the ski, which for 23-24, are we seeing any construction updates, or it's mostly carrying over the same from?
No, it's the same construction updates that we launched in 22-23. So it's a poplar and a Karuba blend wood core. And we sandwich it between two layers of triaxial woven carbon. We infuse graphene in the tips and the tails of the fiberglass. That area allows us to thin that area of the ski, lighten the swing weight. But it's really more the graphic styling. We do vary the construction from the narrower skis to the wider skis, whether it's the men or the women. And we do fine-tune that with the chamfer, or the relationship between the sidewall and the top sheet of the ski. So you'll notice on the wider skis like the 111s, the 117s, that chamfer comes further into the ski. It can allow us to shave a little bit more weight off the construction of the ski as well, but it also allows us to loosen the ski a little bit in those wider skis, make them a little bit more playful and a little surfier, where the chamfer is a little bit tighter and the relationship to the sidewall and the top sheet is closer to a 90-degree relationship in the narrower skis like the 93, the 87, or the women's 85 and 91, just trying to make those skis more responsive, more reactive, and a better edge hold in harder conditions.
Got it. Yeah, on that note, I mean, the core series at this point spans a huge range of waist widths. Mm-hmm. So there's obviously a lot of difference between an 85 and a 117. But kind of in general, if you had to generalize for the whole lineup, what sort of skier do you have in mind for the core series?
It's an all-mountain series, but it's all about where you spend your time on the mountain, what areas of the country or areas of the world you're skiing in. Certainly when I'm back east, I'm skiing more 87s and 93s as well as in the Midwest. But quite honestly, the 93 and the 99 are probably my two most used skis, even at home in Colorado or in Utah or the West Coast for that matter. But the 105, the 111 have really caught on in the Western United States with especially skiers that are spending more time on the mountain. A local, you go to a lot of local areas, whether it's here in the Butte or in Utah and bigger Little Cottonwood, and you'll see a lot of guys and gals skiing on the 105, the 103 women's as their everyday ski. Because the skis do have a lot of versatility. We really tried to tune their rocker profiles and their effective edge lengths in relationship to each other, so that when those wider skis do get off of the powder and the crud, they still do hold an edge and they still do come around. Mm-hmm. So
got it. And then, so Core started as a bunch of skis, still a lot of skis now, but tell us about the Core boots and some of the recent changes they've undergone.
So for 22-23, we redesigned the Core boot line entirely. So this is kind of Core 2.0 from a boot standpoint. We offer two different lasts within the line. The stiffest flex on both the men's and the women's side, the men's 130, the women's 105. That's our LV last, so it's a 98 millimeter last. On the men's, we pair that with an EVA liner, fully moldable EVA liner, really trying to take that boot to its lightest positioning within the line. So a little over 1,600 grams, 1,650 grams in a size 26 in that boot. The rest of the boots, and I should say that 130 is also grill mid plastic. The rest of the line is a standard polyurethane, PU plastic. So we're using a slightly thicker walled shell there. And then we're incorporating more traditional alpine liners. Certainly they're gusseted and have that range of motion to complement the ski hike mechanism on the back. That is a new mechanism for us for 22-23. These boots will carry through to 23-24. We're using grip walk, low-tech Dynafit inserts. We use a lot of technology that comes from our World Cup racing boots. I mean, that's part of our DNA. So it comes into our all-mountain and recreational products as well. So an extended toe box, greater vertical volume in the toe box, really trying to get the heel and the ankle very concise, then allowing that forefoot to open up and relax and articulate as it needs to. So.
Gotcha. And the kind of boot with a walk mode category continues to be like way harder to easily classify like what a given boot is supposed to do. So can you help us narrow down, like, is this for someone who's spending a bunch of time in the backcountry or most of their time in the resort or something in the middle? How are you kind of thinking about that?
I'll use probably one of the most overused terms in equipment, whether it's bikes or skis or anything. I call it a hybrid boot. In that it's, to your point exactly, Luke, this is not, if you're spending all day in the backcountry and touring 8-10 hours a day, this isn't your boot. If you're a skier that wants to ski in the resort as well as in the backcountry, this is your boot. We're not going for maximum weight reduction, but we are going for as much performance in the downhill sense as we can possibly put into the boot. So at Head's DNA, we're a downhill company. We like going uphill just as much as anyone, but it's not going to be our number one focus when we're designing alpine products to date. It's really going to be on the downhill performance. So this is a boot that you can ski all day, every day in a resort and use the hike ski mode to get to and from the parking lot or chase your kid around if you want. Or you can jump out into the I would say the smaller tours, tours that are 20 minutes to an hour, hour and a half, something like that. Still be comfortable. Still have a lighter weight product than our normal alpine boot, and certainly a more versatile product in the range of motion and in the sole technology of the boot as well, but give you something that you can have true confidence on when you're skiing a bigger line in the backcountry and you want to have that downhill performance, that rearward support out of the boot, that precision through the turn. Those boots will deliver that for you.
Got it. Cool. So feature-wise, in terms of like uphill, downhill performance, that kind of covers it. But what about any fit customization features? I know Head's dove in pretty deep into that stuff over the past several years.
So all the Core boots come with form-fit shell technology, I should say. So the shells can be heated and adapted to the foot. It's a general, molding process to the nature of the foot. If you need specific modification, that's when you go see your boot fitter. But these boots are very easy to work on. They can be stretched, they can be ground, they can be punched. So we use that form-fit shell technology. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. And then we also use fully customizable liners within, as I mentioned, the 130 with an EVA liner, the rest of the line with a more standard alpine liner, but fully customizable and heat moldable liners as well. We also do a little adjustment on the ski hike mechanism, which the base of that mechanism that anchors the upper to the lower, you can actually take that off, flip it around, and gain another degree of forward lean if you want to do that and set up your boot in a more aggressive position.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for joining us and filling us in on all the products, and we're very excited to keep spending time in some of the new ones from last year and start spending time on some of the new ones for next year. So appreciate the time, and thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.